Who truly ruled the Americas before Columbus? The Untold Story. In the pages of history, the story of the Americas before Columbus often remains shrouded in mystery and misconception. But beneath the surface lies a rich tapestry of civilizations, cultures, and rulership that shaped the destiny of these lands. Imagine lush jungles, towering mountains, and vibrant cities coexisting in perfect harmony. This was the pre-Columbian Americas, a realm of diverse cultures, innovative civilizations, and breathtaking landscapes. Join us as we embark on a journey to uncover the true rulers of the Americas by exploring the intricate webs of governance and power that existed long before the arrival of European explorers. To grasp the essence of pre-Columbian America, we must journey back to around 1400 AD, a time when civilizations such as the Aztecs, Maya, and Incas thrived across the continent. Imagine traveling through an ancient realm of lush jungles, towering mountains, and expansive plains that sprawled as far as the eye could see. It's as if you ventured into an entirely different world, where nature envelops you in its breathtaking splendor. Simply mesmerizing, isn't it? But the allure doesn't just end with the natural splendor. Oh no, this world also has buzzing and fascinating cities to explore. In one corner, you've got the Aztec capital with its towering pyramids piercing the sky, while in another direction, the Maya cities are adorned with intricate stone temples and vibrant marketplaces. Next, head further down south, and you'll stumble upon the mighty Inca Empire, nestled amidst the peaks of the Andes. Their cities were marvels of engineering, with terraced fields and roads weaving through the mountains. And that's not all. You would also come across little villages scattered across the landscape, each with its own unique vibe and way of life. You've got people living off the land, farming, fishing, and hunting to make ends meet, all while maintaining a deep respect for the environment that sustains them. And let's not forget about the diverse mix of cultures. Everywhere you turn, there are different languages being spoken, traditions being celebrated, and beliefs being practiced. It's like a melting pot of cultures, each adding its own flavor to the lively mix of pre-Columbian Americas. Also, just like the vibrant mix of cultures, the way societies at the time were governed varied greatly. You had some civilizations, like the Inca, where there was one big boss calling the shots. Then you had others, like the Maya, where power was more spread out among different city-states and alliances. With this picture in mind, let's now get down to business and talk about how things worked in pre-Columbian Americas, starting off with the Aztec Empire. Picture the emperor, chilling on his throne, decked out in fancy feathers and jewels, showing off his divine authority. He wasn't just a figurehead, he had some serious power over his people, pulling double duty as both a political and religious leader. Below him were the nobles, living the high life with perks like land, luxury goods, and top jobs in government and the military. They were basically the emperor's right-hand people, helping him keep things in order. Then you had the priests, who were kind of a big deal. They ran religious shows, performed ceremonies, read signs from the gods, and made sacrifices. Yes, that's right, sacrifices. Now, when we talk about sacrifices in Aztec society, we're not just talking about offerings of food or precious objects. No, we're talking about human sacrifices, rituals where individuals, often prisoners of war or those from conquered territories, were ritually killed in elaborate ceremonies. These sacrifices were believed to be necessary for appeasing the gods and ensuring the empire's prosperity. Strange, right? But hey, who are we to judge ancient cultural practices? Anyway, going back to the priests, they weren't just spiritual leaders, they also had a say in politics, advising the emperor and keeping things in check with their rituals. Next up, we had the administrators, aka the bureaucrats, who kept the empire running smoothly. They were responsible for collecting taxes, overseeing infrastructure projects, and managing the empire's vast resources. Without them, the Aztec Empire would have struggled to maintain its power and control over its vast territories. So, you see, From the emperor down to the lowest bureaucrat, everyone had their place in this complex hierarchy, working together to keep the empire running like a well-oiled machine. Now let's dive into the world of the Maya. Unlike the Aztecs, who had this whole empire thing going on, the Maya operated through a bunch of city-states, kind of like a bunch of tiny kingdoms. Imagine this vast landscape scattered with majestic cities, each ruled by its own king or lord, known as the Ajah. These guys weren't just sitting on fancy thrones, they were calling the shots, running everything from religious ceremonies to trade deals. But here's the kicker, Maya kings weren't just regular rulers, they believed to have a direct line to the gods. Yeah, you heard that right. They were like the middlemen between mortals and the big shots upstairs. This divine status gave them some serious street cred among their people. Speaking of divine connections and rulers, it turns out that archaeological findings suggest that the Maya practiced a form of ritual bloodletting, where rulers and elites would pierce their own bodies to offer blood to the gods. Yep, you heard that right. Talk about dedication to the divine. These rituals weren't just some strange tradition. They were believed to be essential for maintaining the cosmic order and ensuring the prosperity of the Maya people. So yes, these kings were a big deal in their society, but they weren't necessarily making all the big decisions on their own. Oh no, they had a whole crew of advisors backing them up. Nobles, priests, and military leaders who helped them navigate everything from politics to warfare to religion. It was like a royal team effort. Another interesting fact is that the Maya city-states weren't isolated entities. They were actually a part of this massive network of alliances and trade routes that crisscrossed the whole region. What this means is that while Maya kings might have been rivals in their own cities, they also buddied up with neighboring rulers to beef up their strength and expand their turf. It was like a game of alliances, where everyone was trying to outsmart each other while still being cordial. And get this, these alliances weren't just about flexing military muscles. Oh no, they were also about trading goods. Maya cities were swapping everything, from fancy stuff like jade and gemstones to everyday things like food and clothes. And let us tell you, these trade deals weren't just about making a quick buck. They were also spreading culture and keeping everyone happy and prosperous. So bottom line, Maya rulers were making laws and leading armies, yes, but they were also the go-to guys for spirituality and economy, juggling a whole bunch of alliances, trade deals, and religious duties to keep the good times rolling in their city-states. Now let's move on to the Inca Empire. The Inca Empire stretched across the rugged Andes Mountains, with its heart centered in the magnificent city of Cusco. And who's the big boss in this grand setup? It's none other than the Sapa Inca, aka the Emperor, calling the shots with absolute authority. Now, unlike the Maya or Aztecs, who had their power spread out, the Inca Empire was all about centralization. They put all their chips on the Sapa Inca, who wasn't just a political bigwig, but also thought to be a divine figure, basically the son of the sun god himself, Inti. With that kind of divine backing, you can bet people were lining up to follow his lead. To keep this vast empire ticking like a well-oiled machine, the Inca had some pretty nifty tricks up their sleeves. They built this insane network of roads, known as the Inca Road System, snaking its way for thousands of miles, linking up every nook and cranny of the empire to Cusco, the big cheese capital. These roads weren't just for strolling. They were like the internet of their time, helping folks communicate, trade goodies, and move troops around. But wait, there's more. They also set up these cool spots called tambos, basically pit stops strategically scattered across the empire. These tambos served as hangouts for government people, military buffs, and weary travelers alike. You could get everything there, from food and shelter to a place to send messages and chill out for a bit. But perhaps the most distinctive feature of Inca governance was their system of tribute collection, known as the mita. Here's the deal. Every province had to contribute labor and resources for the state, kind of like paying taxes, but with a bit more elbow grease. This tribute wasn't just pocket change. It helped fund major projects like building temples, beefing up fortifications, and carving out those neat agricultural terraces. Through all these moves, the Incas kept a tight grip on their turf. making sure everyone stayed in line and played nice. With their mix of strong leadership, smart administration, and well-placed infrastructure, they ran their empire like a well-oiled machine, earning a spot as one of the top dogs in pre-Columbian America. Now that we've got a sense of how things were back in the pre-Columbian days, with how they were all about living in sync with nature and keeping things running smoothly, let's now see what went down when Christopher Columbus rocked up in 1492. Suddenly, everything changed. And not for the better. The European arrival kicked off this whole era of conquest and colonization, and it hit the indigenous societies like a wrecking ball. Diseases, wars, and forced labor tore through communities, leaving devastation in their wake. It was like the world as they knew it was turned upside down. The impact was massive. Empires crumbled, families were torn from their homes, and generations-old lands vanished. And let's talk about the environment. While pre-Columbian folks were all about keeping nature in balance, European colonization brought chaos, forests chopped down, ecosystems thrown out of whack, and resources sucked dry, all in the name of profit and power. It's a real tragedy, isn't it? But today, as we look back on the hidden history of the Americas before Columbus, we're struck by the strength and diversity of indigenous peoples. They've kept their cultures alive, honoring their past, while fighting for their place in the present. Their legacies live on in the stories, languages, and traditions of the people who call these lands home. It's a reminder that history isn't just about what happened, it's about who we are and where we come from. Well, that wraps up today's video on the untold story of the Americas before Columbus. If you enjoyed this exploration into the past and want to learn more about the hidden histories of the world, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to History Spotlight. By doing so, you'll stay updated on our latest videos and continue to uncover the mysteries of our shared human heritage. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious and stay engaged.